Hello everyone, this is Bahama Raven speaking, and welcome to this new episode of Chosen Cold Steel 2. It's been a few months apparently in-game, and after that little divertisement chapter in Crossbell, now we're back in Erebonia, it seems. If you hear me with a little pissed off voice, it's just, this is the second time I'm recording this, as, well, the original recording didn't have the game audio for some reason, so here I am doing all of this over again. Anyway, we're on the high-speed train, the Crusader of the RMP, which is taking Rin and Valimar back from Crossbell all the way to Trista. I'm just gonna go ahead and say right out of the gate that I'm going to limit my own talking as much as humanly possible. During cutscenes, I'm gonna talk off of them, maybe. But, yeah, there's going to be a lot of plot, a lot of cutscenes, a lot of voice dialogue. And the original recording was like 1 hour and a half, just for this part of the game, which I want to cover all in one go anyway. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit, so that it won't be too boring for you to witness at the very least. Anyway, the train has arrived to Trista, so Rin is back home. Feels good to be back, I guess.
Sorry about that, Valimar. Can't imagine it was a very pleasant trip for you, all bound up like that.
It did not present a problem. I will now enter an inactive state and allow the mechanics to perform maintenance.
Thanks. Well then, I'll leave him with you.
Sure thing. We'll take good care of him.
By the way, it's a real honor to be entrusted with the famous Ashen Knight.
Welcome back, Rin. You must be exhausted.
I'll go. Oh no.
Not really. I barely did anything. Everything went off without a hitch, mostly thanks to Valimar's power.
Sounds a little pissed off.
Not to mention the planning of your people.
You're annoyed, I take it, by the way we do things.
Not really. Regardless of the means, the war coming to a swift end was a good thing for everyone. As for what happened to Crossbell, I'm not in any position to talk. No, those aren't what bother me. I can buy that you had no idea Rufus was an Ironblood. But did you really not know about my real father?
I didn't have any hard evidence, but I did suspect that might be the case. You just seemed somehow similar. The air about you, your facial features. I was always puzzled by how fascinated he was by your class as well.
I see. Excuse me then.
Right. That wasn't the only reason I worried about you, you know. Not that I could possibly tell him that.
I can kind of understand Rin's point. I mean, it was kind of a shock.
I'm behaving like such a child. It's hard to believe it's been a whole month since I was here last. Guess it didn't snow after all. It's not like the excitement of that day has faded away or anything. So why? Why do I feel so cold? Huh? Oh, Lino flowers.
Welcome back, Rin.
Oh, everyone came to meet me. Nice.
Welcome back.
What are you doing standing there?
It's not like you to wallow in nostalgia. Did the flowers get to you?
You all came to see me.
They started budding just yesterday. Should be in full bloom in about a week. Guess some of them couldn't wait.
I guess not. It's good to be back, you guys.
Agreed. We're all so happy to see you again.
You must be wiped out after all you did, though.
I'm fine, actually. It really wasn't that tough. Still, did all of you really come out here just to welcome me back?
Why wouldn't we?
It's not like we second years have any lessons to worry about this time of year.
Besides, I already had to come out here because of Valimar, so I figured I might as well say hi to you too.
Technically, the first years are supposed to be in class right now, but I turned it into a self-study period instead.
I really wish I had a teacher like Sarah back in high school. I'll be completely honest, I really wish I did.
And that was only possible because everyone's favorite captain told us exactly when you'd be arriving.
Really now?
Twisting the knife, huh?
It's nice to see you here too, Celine.
Well, don't think I went out of my way to be here or anything.
Tsundere.
But given the way that you were acting when you left, I was a little worried about you. I mean, I wasn't. Not at all.
Still, thanks everyone.
So what now? Going back to your dorm for some well-earned rest?
We can carry your stuff for you if you want.
No, I'm fine. You said that class is in session right now, right? I'm a student, so I might as well attend. I mean, I have been absent for a month now.
Wow, you're no fun at all. I was hoping we could skip the whole class thing and get to the welcome back party.
I like that idea. Come on, it's party time!
Am I the only one who cares about studying at this school?
Well, maybe we can hold the party tonight instead.
In that case, we should probably head back to the academy.
It was really nice of all of them to come and welcome me back. I mean, why wouldn't they? And here's a scene that changes slightly depending on who you partner at the end of the year.
Oh, by the way, Reen, it's nice to have you back.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
Yeah, this scene right here changes depending on who you partnered up before the final act. So yeah, the scene is the same, but the partner changes. Anyway, welcome to the epilogue chapter, Winter's End. I'll be completely honest with you, I'm actually a little sad that all of this is coming to a close, but all good things must come to an end.
I'll never forget those days. The final weeks we spent together as a class are like dazzling jewels forever etched into my memories. I cherished every last moment. I never wanted it to come to an end. But time stops for no one. The minutes and hours kept passing, and our days together were slowly coming to a close. After what happened, Valflame Palace soon returned to its original form. It was almost as if everything that took place there was some sort of dream. People's memories of that day started becoming vague. Many were convinced it was some kind of collective hallucination.
Talk about an hallucination if it was that big.
That may have been in part a result of the chaotic days that followed, brought about by the Chancellor and Rufus. After the war, the entire country feared that Calvard would invade Crossbell and try to take it for its own. Using that to his advantage, Rufus quickly convinced the nobility to support him, pledged to cooperate with the Chancellor. And in January 1205, the combined forces of both Imperial and Provincial armies invaded Crossbell.
And the resulting scheming of Rufus towards the Noble Alliance makes sure that Osborne now is pretty much in complete control.
Crossbell no longer possessed the weapon of mass destruction that had annihilated Gorelia Fortress.
Technically speaking, that was Ouroboros', but I think Lloyd and the Crossbell team know what happened to it.
Thanks to that, the city was occupied in a mere day, with no bloodshed. Calvert was quick to react, sending countless airships to try and drive the Imperial forces out. However, between Rufus's leadership and the combined might of the tanks and soldats under his command, they were quickly repelled. As for me, Chancellor Osborne's words became the reality. Valimar and I were heralded as those responsible for Heimdall's liberation. And as the purported hero to the nation, I'd received and accepted a request in February to back up our forces in Crossbell.
And Osborne, by doing so, tied his own son, I'd like to remind you, to a role where he basically becomes a puppet. A puppet in a proxy war of sorts, with him trying to keep all the power for himself. Rain right now is nothing more than a pawn, unfortunately, and I do think he realizes it, but there's literally nothing he can do about it.
It was there that I found myself suddenly leading numerous soldats and fighting off the Republican army. Before I knew it, everyone around me was referring to me as the Ashen Chevalier. Time kept flowing, and mid-March came. The month in which Class 7 would finally say their goodbyes.
Even though they're first years, I guess they're gonna early graduate or something like that.
And that brings our history review right up to the dawn of the modern era.
Damn you, Thomas. Oh no, no more lessons. Please no. Please God, no.
Next week, we'll be covering the 50-year period from the Orbital Revolution up to the present day. We're blowing through this material a lot more quickly than I would otherwise, so try to keep up with your reading. Oh, and Emma and Machias, if you see anyone struggling, try to help them out, okay?
I fully intend to.
Leave it to us. I've got plenty of good reference books on the subject.
That would be very helpful, actually.
Sounds like a pain. Oh well.
He is quite literally every student that's coming close to an exam period.
I do happen to have a few gaps in my knowledge of the revolution.
I should be able to help out with the technological side of things if you guys need it. I'm guessing we're gonna run into that Schmidt guy's name a lot too.
Well, he was one of the 3 leading disciples of Professor Epstein, so yeah.
It'll feel strange seeing his name in textbooks, knowing how he is in real life.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing to think we were able to meet him though.
It's a shame that books don't tell the whole story. Never.
Alright, like I said, I'll be giving a quiz next week on everything we've covered up to now. Which means it'll cover quadratic functions, factorizations, sets, logic, and probability.
Oh god, I'm good at math, but still.
Oh, and if I'm feeling really mean, there might be a little calculus in there. So, study for this one.
Not even my teachers were this, scary.
That's a lot.
I'm getting depressed just thinking about it.
Sounds more like he's reciting some kind of curse.
It is all material we've covered in class before, you know.
It'll be worth going over the most basic formulas at the very least.
Oh no, please no, 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 not politics. Please, no, no.
That sums up this lecture on the structure of the stock market in Erebonia. Next week, we will hurry on and study unemployment and inflation problems. You're also going to be taking part in a debate on those issues. So make sure each of you are well prepared.
What kind of debate? A debate. It's when people are divided into groups for and against something, then they argue their viewpoints.
I actually like this kind of thing. Did it myself once for a school project. Got a a 10 out of 10. Not meaning to brag, but anyway, moving on.
After much consideration, I've decided we will use our remaining time to listen to and enjoy music from all manner of genres. From famous classics to popular modern music, I've gathered records of all kinds for you to enjoy. I even managed to borrow music from a hot new genre like heaving metal, I believe it's called. Oh, I wonder what that sounds like.
I'm more curious about what your face once you're gonna hear something like that.
Nice work, guys. You poor kids must be exhausted. Feels like all your other instructors are dead set on cramming your brains with as much material as humanly possible.
I want to crawl into a hole and die.
Again, Fee is the living representation of every student under exams.
You said it.
Still, this is exactly how we wanted it.
Right. They're doing it for our sake, so I don't mind it so much.
There's no way we could cover everything in class, so it's sweet of them to give us the bullet points while they still can.
It's paying off for us in the long run, yeah, so we owe them a lot.
Forcing you to try and keep up with us is a little unfair of us, though.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do all of this again next year.
Are you sure you're fine with this arrangement?
Of course. This is to my benefit, too. If I get all of this crammed into my head now, maybe I can even come out on top on next year's midterms.
Well,
that's some confidence. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually did it, though.
He did come in 7th in the midterms this year, remember?
I'm probably just being too optimistic.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. Guess we'll know for sure next year.
Yeah, because pretty much everyone in Class 7 is getting graduated, with the exception of Reen. For some reason, I don't think it's the attendance that he lost after he went to Crossbow for a whole month or something like that. But I think Class 7, because of maybe Oliver being involved, will get an early graduation.
Anyway, tomorrow's the day you've all been waiting for. Your next free day.
Free day means side quests, of course. Something that I won't be doing in today's video. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
I know you've got enough schoolwork to choke a horse, but try to carve out a little time for your clubs and all that youthful jazz. The forecast for tomorrow is clear blue skies. Might be the perfect chance to sneak off and get into some ooh la la with that special someone.
Never change, Sarah.
And truly, you teach us all by living your life as a shining counterexample.
Spoken like a true lifetime member of the Lonely Hearts Club, instructor.
Strike one.
Hey! I'll have you know that there are plenty of guys who would do anything for a private lesson with yours truly.
But if that many men are interested in you, how can you spend so much time drinking alone in your room?
Strike two?
I think the polite thing to do here is just smile and nod.
Strike three!
If you keep setting your sights on guys like Laura's dad, you might as well just buy a couple cats and get it over with.
That's it. That's a home run.
It does seem like she's fighting an uphill battle to find a good match.
Just you wait, guys. In 2 weeks, when you see the hordes of chiseled, elegant gents draped over me, we'll see who has the last laugh.
$100 says that in 2 weeks that's never gonna happen, and I will be getting some money.
Time really does fly. It's hard to believe our last free day is tomorrow.
Yeah, it felt like we still had more time.
For me, it feels like it's been ages since I last had one.
I suppose it would.
Were you able to rest up at all while you were away?
Not really. It was basically work, work, work the whole time. I did get taken into Crossbell City during what time off I did have, but I can't say I felt very comfortable there.
It's understandable.
I'm sure. Indeed. That must have been more painful than anything.
To the people of Crossbell, we Erebonians are aggressors. I can hardly imagine they would welcome us with open arms.
That doesn't sound like it'd stop Lecter from living it up over there, though.
He did take me to a casino once, actually. He won so much, he might as well have been cheating.
Shocking.
I know, right?
It always feels like people who like gambling really like it, huh?
Oh. Yeah.
So, does anyone have anything planned for our free day?
Thank you, Laura.
Remember, it's the very last one, so make it count. We wouldn't want to end the day with any regrets.
True enough. Although, I wonder if I'd end the day regretting that it has to end in the first place if we made it too much fun.
I've got so much that I want to do, I'm not sure where to start. I know I want to attend practice, at least. Oh, same. I've got to go taste test some new dishes for the cooking club, plus Kirsch's has a new menu up, and...
How many stomachs do you have?
Will you be helping the student council tomorrow, Reen?
That's the plan. It sounds like Toa will finish handing all her work over to the others today, but they're bound to be busy. So I thought it'd be nice to take some of it off their hands, whether they like it or not.
Ah, Reen, ever the reliable gopher.
That's a very you response.
If there's anything we can help with, let us know, okay?
And here comes another scene that changes depending on your partner.
Well, I guess I'd better get going. I could go straight to the student council room, but it's my first time back in over a month, so it would be nice to take a walk. Maybe I should go and see how Valamar's doing too.
Reen!
Like I was saying.
Huh? Emma? I thought you'd gone off to your club room with Celine. Did you forget something?
No, it's not that. I just wanted to spend a bit more time talking to you. You were away for so long, and I still have so many things I want to talk about with you.
Oh, right. That's fine by me, though. I've still got loads of stuff I want to talk about with you, too.
That being said, it wasn't only talking to you that I missed while you were away.
Aww.
There was, something else.
Aww.
I think I might know. So, what do you want to talk about?
Anything is fine with me, as long as I'm with you.
So cute. It wasn't for long, but the two of them were happy simply passing the time together. When the time came to part ways, they said their goodbyes just outside the classroom. Classes are now over for the day and you can walk around the academy grounds freely. After visiting the building accessible through the engineering building and speaking to Toa in the student council room, the story will advance. And we can now get the traveling clothes. You can change the character's costume by selecting the costume you want to equip in the costume part of the equip section in the cam menu. Okay, if no costume has been selected, the character's outfit will change automatically over the course of the story. Since, as you can see, as a matter of fact, Reen now doesn't have his traveling clothes that he has for the entirety of the game ever since Act 1, but he's back into the school uniform. So I'd like to say 25 minutes of recording, maybe 24 in the video, and now we're getting to move Reen around a little bit. And we're gonna be talking to a lot of people, so do catch up. So let's go floor by floor. First I want to go into the music room. We need to talk to 3 people. Hebel over here, and I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna skip most of the dialogue here for time constraint reason. You need to talk to Hebel, Mint, and Bridget. Okay, sorry Elliot, I don't need to talk to you. In the home economics room, we want to talk to Nicholas over here. Long story short, characters right now are telling you what they're going to do after graduation, so If you want to read, then do read. Also, Clara in the art room. If you want to read, do pause and read. But it's not something that I want to do yet, anyway. Okay, now I'm going to the first floor, and there's a little scene, not here, with Principal Van Dyke, or Van Dyke. I never remember. This one I'm going to read, though. Ah, if it isn't Reen Schwarzer, allow me to give you my belated congratulations on your incredible work over in Crossbell. Though it does break my heart that such a heavy burden should fall to a student such as yourself. Don't feel bad, sir. I was the one who chose to accept the Crossbellian government's request after all. Besides, it wouldn't do me any good to run away from this. The role I've been given is difficult, but I'll see it through to the end. I ended up meeting some interesting people over there too. I have no regrets. Then I shall only say one more thing. I'm sure your days ahead will be full of hardships. Be sure not to lose sight of yourself as you face them. That is all the advice I can give you. Thank you, sir. General Van Dyke was my superior back when I was in the army. As such, I'm planning on granting you a bit of additional assistance. Yeah, first game, chapter 4, at the end, where he hinted at Millium. Is something wrong, Schwarzer? No, sir, not at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Principal Van Dyke knew something, but now's not the time to start asking. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that, I guess. Also, here at the faculty lounge, there is Instructor Thomas. You can talk to him if you are in New Game Plus and you have all of the 5 Black Records book. You can talk to him right now, and you can hand it over to him, and he will decode them for you. Also, hey, I have a scene with you too. I'm gonna skip something. Basically, the Vice Principal asked about Ark and Ciel, the performers over in Crossbell, and Risha, if you recall, is one of the leads of Ark and Ciel, but it's not like we can tell him that we fought her, that she's like a hired assassin of sorts, or whatever. Okay, after this, I want to go to the rooftop, and I need to talk to Vincent. And then there's a scene a little bigger with Instructor Makarov, which I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to read this. Do you know how tough it is to do these special lessons for you kids? Got more than enough on my hands with just one set of lessons, but you guys just had to have your own, didn't you? I'm sure it's a ton of work. We really can't thank you enough for doing all of this for us. Whatever. Yeah, my current workload's a headache, but I'm sure it'll be upgraded to a migraine when next year rolls around. Due in no small part to that damn building over there. The one that's supposed to house Valimar and all of the soldats. The Imperial Army asked the Academy to build it, didn't they? Yeah, asked isn't really the right word though, and it's not the first time. They made us take those combat shells too. They even made me help with it since I work on that Tachi. Just finish it up a few days before you came back from Crossbell. I didn't know that. They haven't given us any soldats to put in there yet, but it's probably just a matter of time. I bet they're gonna be as common on the battlefield as tanks soon enough. Yeah. It's kind of scary to think how much has changed in Erebonia ever since the end of the war. And this is probably only the beginning. Well, that's life. Nothing stays the same forever. Just don't spend so much time worrying about the future that you forget about what's happening in your life right now. Basically, don't freak out about the future of Erebonia when you got your own shit to deal with. Like next week's test. I'll be sure to study extra hard for this one. Maybe I should drop by that building and pay Valimar a visit later, though. Yeah, that's another thing. Alright, so what's next? Oh yeah, the academy field. I need to talk to Paula over here. There's a scene with Eustace. Not the horse, thank you. There we go. I owe nearly as much to the riding club this year as I do to our class. My time at Thor's wouldn't have been nearly as interesting if I hadn't joined. Consider myself lucky to have done so. I'm happy to hear that. Still, Reen, from what I understand, my brother owes you a lot for what you've done during your stay in Crossbell. I wouldn't say that. While I was there, I saw the extent of his political skills over and over again, and, well, I feel like I only now know just how much he's capable of. In both good ways and bad, I assume. I thought I knew him just like I thought I knew my father, but in the end, they were both strangers to me. Sorry, Eustace. Well, enough about me. I just wish he could have seen his duty as one of the Academy's directors through to the end of the year, that's all. Oh yeah, so basically he resigned from being one of the board of directors. Okay, then you talk to Lambert, and then... what's next? There's the gymnasium, where I need to talk to Alan and Friedel over here. I'll talk to Patrick as well. Oh, it's you, Schwarzer. Is it true you're going to be helping the student council again tomorrow? I would have imagined one in your position would take the opportunity to rest, but I suppose that's just not your way. Yeah, for better or worse, that's just how I am. How are things back at home, by the way? I've heard things are still kind of chaotic over in the Sutherland province. So it seems, it's certainly keeping my father busy. Celestine will be returning home to help him, so I imagine he'll be able to stay on top of things, but... What is it to you how my family is faring? Don't you have enough to worry about as things stand? Well... I have no shortage of scores to settle with you, so I'd appreciate it if you got back to being your old self. Otherwise, I'll simply end up speeding ahead of you before you'll know it come next month. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, it's nice to see how Patrick has changed throughout the course of these two games. Okay, next up we need to go to the engineering building, and there's going to be more voice dialogue.
Oh.
Hey there, Rain.
Looks like someone's done with class for the day.
Yep, just got out. Wait, is that?
Yep, Angie's brand new bike.
Like the color, also, I like the fact that he has the Ragnar household insignia on it. Pretty stylish.
We started building it for you, but then we had a change of heart. I just couldn't tear you away from your current ride after you'd grown so attached.
Now I feel bad, considering I pretty much did just that to you. Your new one's got a pretty cool design, though.
Don't get too jealous. Specs are pretty much the same as yours. Well, before Angie tunes it up and adds her custom gear for distance riding, that is.
Okay, let's see about what Angelica and George are going to do after graduation.
But distance riding would mean... You're planning on going off on some big journey, aren't you?
10 points to Rain. I just felt like it was time for me to go out and see the world for myself. My martial arts teacher did the same thing once, so I'm sure it'll be a valuable experience for me. The plan for now is to travel through the entirety of Zemuria.
That's not a very specific plan, and a pretty sizable journey.
You can say that again. I have no idea where she finds the energy.
Oh, really now? Your plan to visit the continent's most famous engineering factories is pretty much exactly the same thing.
You really think so?
I take it you'll be leaving Erebonia for a while too, George?
Seems that way. First stop's the Burl and ZCF. Always wanted to see it. After that, I got my heart set on a trip to the Epstein Foundation over in Lamont State. While I'm at it, I think it'd be nice to pay a visit to the Verne Company in Calvert, too.
Will you even be able to get into Calvert at this point?
Hey, I didn't say it'd be easy, but I think I can pull some strings.
Really now?
The real reason for this trip is to figure out what I can do as an engineer to help smooth over our international relations. Meeting the continent's finest engineers and discussing things with them should really help get the ball rolling on that.
You've thought that far ahead. That's really admirable. I hope you can find a way to make that happen. Even though I feel kind of hypocritical saying that, as someone who participated in the war.
Don't beat yourself up over it, Reen.
You have nothing to be ashamed of. That was your only option, given the way the Chancellor set things up. Your actions actually helped us avoid an even longer, more brutal war.
I guess there's always a good news mixed in between the bad things that happen, I guess.
But
Angie's right. You played a role that no one else could have. Just think, if things kept going the way they were going, we could have been at war with all of Crossbell. I don't even want to imagine the number of lives that would have been lost if you hadn't stepped in the way you did.
Of course, us telling you whether or not you should feel guilty doesn't matter. It all comes down to you facing your own feelings over what you did. But there's one thing we'd like you to remember as you do. You're not alone, Reen. You've got friends who understand why you did what you did.
sometimes I wonder how I was lucky enough to get such good ones. Thanks, you guys. This really helps.
Don't mention it. On a completely different note, why don't you pay Valimar a visit while you're here? We spared no expense making sure he'd be nice and cozy in there.
I think I will. But not to discredit your coziness efforts or anything, but he seems fine no matter where I leave him.
Well, aren't you a sweet chevalier? Maybe I'll check in on him in a bit too.
Tying it up with what George and Angelica said to Reen and how he reacted to it, I like this chapter because of Reen himself. I'll get more into it later after another scene has happened, but for now let's go and talk to Valimar real quick. This is one of the required scenes in order to progress with the story.
Hey Valimar, how you holding up?
Relatively comfortably. My ability to self-repair means that maintenance is not mandatory, but I expect it will increase my operating efficiency.
Glad to hear it. This is going to be our new home base for the time being, so you can get in as much maintenance as you need. I'm gonna need you a lot in the days ahead, Valimar.
I will strive to meet your expectations.
Something wrong?
Not as such. I thought I sensed something unusual, but it must have been my imagination.
You really are getting to be scarily human these days, you know? What was it you sensed, though? A person?
I am unsure. It may have simply been a fluctuation in the earth veins below us. Similar fluctuations are hardly abnormal.
Well, if you don't think it's anything worth worrying about, I'll try and put it out of my mind. If you sense anything strange in the future, though, let me know, okay? You can tell me... telepathically was the word, right?
Indeed. I shall use it to inform you should I sense anything is amiss.
Okay, let's keep that feeling Valimar had in the back of our heads for now. It's probably going to play a role later. Okay, next on my to-do list would actually be to go to the student union building and go and talk to Toa, but there's one thing I wanted to check. Most notably... no. These are of the first game. I wanted to see if I could get... No, these are of the first game, so I couldn't. Because there's one thing, unfortunately, I did notice. And I'll get more into it as soon as I enter the student union building. So basically, I have another Dorothy situation on my hands. So if I go to this shop over here, first I'm gonna say that you can buy the ultimate, well, shop weapons for characters in case you haven't done so in the Infernal Castle. You can do so here. Here you can buy the Imperial Chronicle issue 7. Now, this is actually the last book you need to get in the game in order to get the book trophy. But I'm gonna show you a little something over here. Notice something amiss? Yeah, I think that back when I was either in the Corel Imperial Villa or in the Infernal Castle, I should have bought the issue 6. I don't remember exactly where it was. I'm going to probably put a note in the corner while I'm gonna edit it out, but unfortunately, yeah, I did miss just the one book. So this shop over here doesn't have anything. And here we need to talk to Emily, Theresia, and Ferris over here. Then after that, we need to go to the second floor, go to the photography club, which is here. Talk to Fidelio. And then we're gonna go into the student council room. And here's probably my favorite scene in this game when it comes to Reen's character development. You'll see why. I'm just gonna let it play out. Toa handing over all of her work to the rest of the student council should be ending today. So I'm guessing she's still here. There's definitely someone in there, but there's no response. Oh, I know. Excuse me, I'm coming in. Let me guess, we're gonna have, yeah.
Yep, I knew it. No wonder she fell asleep. She must have been really busy getting everything sorted out for the spring. Makes me remember finding her like this over in the computer room.
Yeah, this is part of a bonding event in the first game.
Oh, right. I probably shouldn't look too much or she'll get mad when she wakes up.
Angie. George. Crow. Reen? What are you doing in my room? Wait, this is the student council room. I must have fallen asleep.
Sorry for coming in without permission. I did knock, though.
I can confirm.
Don't worry about it. It's my fault for dozing off like this. Why do you always have to keep finding me like that? I hope you weren't looking at me while I was sleeping again.
I did try to look as little as possible.
Well, if you say so. Is something the matter? You're not looking too well.
No, I'm fine. Maybe the light streaming in through the window is making me look off color? I feel fine, really.
Come with me.
What's this all about?
I know that you're a boy and all, and I do think that you've grown a lot during your year here. No, I probably shouldn't even call you a boy anymore. You're a grown man now, but...
And here it comes.
That doesn't mean you always have to stand and endure everything life throws your way. Okay? If it gets too much, it's alright to sit down and let it all out. Whether you're a boy or a grown man doesn't change that. It's okay, Reen.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I promised I'd bring him back. I promised I'd make him graduate with you, but I couldn't do it.
It's okay. You did everything you could. You made sure he knew how we all felt. And you let all of us know how he really felt too. So, don't get so worked up about it. Okay?
I'm sorry. I didn't want anyone to see me like that.
Well, I guess we're even then. Not like I jump for joy every time you catch me sleeping.
Have you finished getting everything ready for the next student council now, by the way?
Yep, my days of being president are almost done. The first years taking over are really smart, though. I barely had to teach a thing in the end.
Still, it must have been hard work getting through it all. You're going on a tour of various NGOs after graduation, right?
Yep. The plan's to take a year to visit NGOs in lots of different fields. Politics, economics, engineering, medicine. After that, I'm not sure what I want to do. I'll probably join either the army or something related to the government, I suppose.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'd both love to have you. There's no chance either one would say no to you. Especially since taking a year off hasn't made them any less determined to recruit you. After all you did with commanding the courageous, it's no wonder you're so in demand.
I don't know. I don't think I did anything special, really. Still, I feel like it'd be best in the long run for me to see the world from a variety of different perspectives. I don't know what path I'll choose, but I want to step onto it with a firm decision on how things should be. I think that's the best thing I can do for this country's future. Maybe I'm being a little overdramatic there, though.
Not at all. After how much you've done for this academy, I can only imagine how much you could do for this country. Just try not to overwork yourself, okay? We're with you all the way, but we will always worry, you know?
Thanks. Oh, I almost forgot. What was it that made you come here? I mean, I'm happy you did, but...
Oh, I'd completely forgotten too. I just came to ask if there was anything I could do to help tomorrow, seeing as it's another free day.
But you've only just come back. And besides, tomorrow's your...
That's all the more reason I want to spend tomorrow's free day the same way I spent all of the others. It wouldn't feel like our final free day is Class 7 if it were any different.
Well, if you say so. Okay. I do have a few things in mind, so I'll just drop them into your mailbox in the dorm like I always do. And thanks for offering.
I love this scene because of how Rin was bottling it all up, and he just ended up, you know, letting it out. Towa offered him the chance to accept, in a way, all that happened, instead of just absorbing it like a sponge, to just release it. It's bad to keep things like that in you without, you know, bringing them out every now and again. But anyway, I'm gonna have to read this scene. Rin! Hey guys, didn't expect to run into you. Crazy coincidence, huh? Are you heading back to the dormitory too? That was the idea. Why don't we all head back together then? This is a really nice scene. All of them, at the very beginning of the first game, they would all go their own separate ways. And now they're a very close group. It's nice seeing the flowers as they start to bloom. Yeah, I know you said earlier they'd be in full bloom in a week, but I'm thinking it'll be closer to the end of the month, personally. Just in time for the welcoming ceremony. The new students will be able to begin their academic lives here surrounded by lino flowers, just as we did. Oh, wonderful. You've all known each other since your first day here, right? That's right. Nobody else started partway through the year like you did. But back then, I never could have imagined we'd get along this well. We got off to kind of a rocky start. You're telling me. Especially Marcus and Eustace. Oh yeah, understatement much. For what it's worth, I do regret the way I behaved back then. It's not exactly something I'm terribly proud of. Oh, think nothing of it. Immaturity makes fool of even the best of us at times. Thanks, Hold on! What's with that expression? You weren't exactly standing on moral high ground either. I wouldn't have had as much of a reason to behave the way I did if you hadn't kept looking down your nose at me. Did you not hear me say the best of us? He was hell on all of us at the time, but it's just all just a fond memory now. I suppose the same could be said about your and Reen's little incident at the start of the year, couldn't it? Now we're going there, huh? Just had to bring that up, didn't you? I should have seen this coming. Ooh, little incidents are my favorite. Tell me. Well... Don't you dare. She's the last person who needs to know. This will make her even more curious and you know it. Our first day really was full of surprises. Yeah, I can't imagine too many teachers welcome their students by dropping them through a hole in the floor. Yeah, teachers are not like Sarah usually. Even without having to fight a gargoyle on the way out, that's a pretty memorable start to a school year. The gargoyle proved to be quite the opponent too. Yeah, back then maybe, but now, since it's level 5, we would kill it like snapping fingers. I'll say. And when we finally managed to pull together and defeat it, she just casually drops in like nothing happened. It's like she was lying in wait the whole time, watching and waiting for her chance to strike. That's exactly what she was doing. Yeah, I'd figure you would have understood that much sooner. You know, given her character and all that, but then again, back then you didn't know her this well. Still, as exhausting and unusual as it was, that was how our class began. I'm pretty sure it's burned into all of our memories at this point. How could it not be? I have no doubt about that. Even so, I'm sure it's one of the memories that I'll cherish decades into the future. Aw, now you got me all jealous. Now it's my turn to do something crazy and make some super memorable memories too. Don't you dare. I dread to imagine what she's thinking when she says something crazy. Yeah, me too, really. On a hopefully unrelated note, what are we gonna do for dinner tonight? I only plan on getting something over at Kirsch, but if anyone has better ideas, what are we gonna eat for dinner? That's one question I keep hearing every single day, lunch and dinner when I'm at home, because my grandmother never has any imagination. Whatever. I'm just rambling at this point. I think it may be a good idea to make something for ourselves. If we divide up the work between us, I'm sure our meal will have quite a bit of variety too. That does sound nice. My cooking skills were in danger of getting rusty too. Seasonal hot pot? Doubt it. Oh, no objections here. Well, unless anyone has what they need already, I think it's time to split up. We probably got a lot to buy, so...
That won't be necessary.
Why did I knew that she was gonna be here? And not because I'm recording this for the second time. I'm talking about, you know, plot-wise.
Sharon?
What reason could you possibly have for being here? The chairman gave me her permission to return to my former position as your dormitory's caretaker, which means I am here to serve you all once more. There may only be a short time left until the end of the year, but I'll make sure you want for nothing during it.
Well, at least we won't starve.
I've already started preparing your evening meal, so there's no need to go out and buy anything.
Oh, well, how about that?
I'm fine with this.
We will gladly accept your offer.
Sharon's cooking's better than whatever grub we could rustle up together anyway. How do you manage to get permission from Mother in the first place, though? Weren't you helping to rebuild the Rhineford group? I thought the company was getting so many orders in, it was struggling to keep up. Now that Master Gwyn has returned to the company, everything is back in order. He and the chairman have been speeding through one task after another since he got back. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So the former and current chairman make quite a team, I see.
Boy, I'm starving. Wouldn't mind a drink either. With the weather getting warmer, it's just about time for peak beer season. Huh? What are you guys all gathered out here for? Oh, why are you here?
It's a pleasure to see you too, Lady Sarah. I brought a bountiful supply of smoked oysters and sardines if you'd like a snack to accompany your beer. Would you like them alongside your dinner?
Damn it. Yes.
Sharon wins. Hands down.
I'm surprised she can just walk around in public like this. You know, considering her affiliation.
I'm guessing there's some sort of agreement in place between Reinford and the government to leave her alone. Though, even if there weren't, I can't imagine anything would be able to stop Sharon from doing what she wants.
True. It took me roughly an hour to do the daytime, and believe it or not, the episode is still not done. There's going to be some evening dialogues to be read, but it's mostly what Class 7 members are about to do once they graduate. You want to talk to them for some profile pages, but...
Whew. I think I might have eaten too much. It's been so long since we last had Sharon's cooking. She hasn't lost her touch. None of it feels heavy on my stomach at all. Well, that's all my work done for the day. Maybe I should go see how everyone else is doing.
You can explore Class 7 dorms on the night before each free day, just like the first game. Be aware, however, that the story will progress should you return to Reen's room. Okay, now I'm gonna speed through dialogues over here. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to everyone. I'm gonna start with the tsundere cat over here.
Oh, there you are. You look bored, Celine.
I guess I am. My work's done at this point. I feel like I aged a few decades as soon as the war came to an end.
Come on now.
Feels a bit strange to be saying it after the fact, but you fought pretty well over in Crossbell. You've really mastered piloting Valimar.
I'd like to think so anyway. I feel like I could pull off just about anything with him now. And to think, I couldn't do half as much with him when I was first starting out.
You do realize you just admitted you were totally useless, right? I wonder if you're gonna be okay without us, you know? Valimar must have drawn the short straw to end up with a budding awakener like you.
Thanks for worrying about me all the time, Celine.
Excuse me, what makes you think I was worried about you?
Just about everything. From what I can tell, you've always worried about me. Back in the beginning, when I didn't know anything about piloting, you were always there to guide me through our battles. I doubt I would have ever come this far if you didn't have my back. So, thank you. For all of it.
Why do you always have to be like this? I feel for Emma, I really do.
I was just trying to thank you, you know. I didn't have any ulterior motives for doing it.
Then don't make it sound like you do. I swear, if you ever hurt her, I'll never forgive you.
There are parts of the legends passed down in the clan that not even Emma and I know about. But just bear this one thing in mind. Divine Knights have incredible power, and they can become devils just as easily as they can become gods.
Don't worry, I know. And I won't forget. Anyone in my position needs to know the difference between right and wrong. I'm well aware of that.
That's fine then. Anyway, good luck, I guess. If you really need it, I can always come and help out.
Well, that's nice to know, I guess. Okay, on the ground floor, there's Sharon here.
Oh, good evening, Master Reen. I thought you had already retired for the evening. How would you like for me to put together some supper?
I appreciate the offer, but I think I've eaten more than I should have as it is. Your cooking really is delicious, Sharon. I was starting to miss it after not having it for so long.
It was my pleasure to cook for all of you again, so I pulled out all the stops with this one. Seeing all of you happily indulging my handiwork always makes every second of preparation worth it. Is something the matter, Master Reen?
Oh, I was just thinking about how you haven't changed a bit. I'm not sure it's my place to ask, but is everything all right over at Ouroboros? I can't help but wonder after how things turned out. Vita seemed really shocked.
I'm afraid I haven't a clue. No word of what's been happening in the society has reached my ears since then. I have no idea where the second Anguis is now. Nor do I know what happened regarding the Phantasmal Blaze plan after the Chancellor declared he was taking it over. And quite frankly, none of it is my concern. The answers won't change who I am, and it won't suddenly cause me to shift priorities. I am and always will be a proud maid of the Reinford family. Not because of the freedom we enforcers are granted, but because that is simply who I am. Much like how you being the Ashen Chevalier doesn't change how you are also a proud member of Class 7.
I suppose you're right.
And no matter what happens to you in the future, never lose sight of who you really are. It's almost time for me to return to Ruhr. But should you ever need me again, I will gladly rush to your side.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you can stay here for a while longer.
Well, the fact that Ouroboros is gone silent, it's not exactly a good or bad news per se, but oh well. Anyway, this room is empty, as you may know, so let's go and talk to the boys, and then I'm gonna keep the girls for last.
Hey, Elliot. Taking care of your violin?
Yeah, it's taken care of me over the past year, so why not return the favor? I'm actually planning on giving a few of them to the Academy before I go. Just to make sure next year's first years have something to practice with.
That's really generous, and sure to make a lot of people happy. And you'll finally be heading off to a music academy, just like you always wanted.
Oh, cool.
I bet they'll push you pretty hard over there, too.
I don't doubt it. I'm going to need to be all music all the time if I want to stand a chance at keeping up. Though, to be honest, after all the time I've spent here, I don't really want my life to be completely about music. I love it, obviously, but to be a balanced person, I want to have a bit more variety in my life, like I had here at the Academy. For one thing, I don't want to get too rusty with my Orbital staff.
Good to hear. I hope everything works out for you.
Thanks. Me too. No, it's nothing. Either way, Heimdall and Trista are really close, so don't be a stranger, okay? I know you're gonna have tons of work to get through between your classes and your missions, but...
Don't worry, I'll make time. I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances to see each other. There's still a ton of Heimdall I haven't seen, too. You'll have to show me around next time I make it over there.
You bet.
Oh, cool. So Elliot will get into a music academy like he originally wanted. So let's see what our studio's boy is gonna do.
Hey, Machias. Working hard or hard?
I'll stop you right there. Of course I'm hard at work. Just look at the size of this book.
If I throw that at a wall, I think the wall will collapse.
If I can't internalize as much of it as possible while I'm here, I'm doomed to failure from the start.
And this is one of your new textbooks? Man, Heimdall's political academies don't mess around, do they? You'll be the youngest person there, right?
Most likely. I'd normally need to have graduated from Thor's with a bit more experience under my belt to have gotten in. There are a few Thor's grads there already, though. They take some every year. And as you might imagine, the recent political upheaval has the place swarming with applicants this year. The entrance exam was hard enough on its own, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Can't say I envy you. Still, I know you're going to be just fine. You're so smart that you can handle any subject they throw at you. Growing up with your dad should give you a leg up on the politics, too.
Yeah, no pressure there. Honestly, there are times when I think diving into things head first like this is a giant mistake.
What's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just... I know we're probably going to both be really busy with our own lives come spring, but let's make time to have lunch together once in a while or something, okay? Studying is all well and good, but even I need a change of pace every now and again.
I think that can be arranged. The train from here to Heimdall only takes a half hour. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't hang out sometimes.
Then it's a date.
So keep in mind that everyone is saying, oh, it's nothing at a certain point. That's because basically there is an additional scene that will happen if you may, again, make them your partners before the Corel Imperial Villa moment. Anyway, Gaius, you're next.
Are you finishing up your painting, Gaius?
Yeah, this is my last one. I want to make sure I'm completely satisfied with it before declaring it finished.
That's understandable. You're going to keep painting once you're back at home, though, right?
Well, I don't know how much time I'll have to set aside for it, but I intend to keep working on it, bit by bit. There's growing reason for concern in Calvert to the east of the Highlands. But all in all, things are more peaceful now than they were. I should be able to focus on painting my magnum opus.
Oh, is it going to be of Nord? If anyone can make a masterpiece of the Highlands, it'd be you.
That wouldn't be such a bad idea. But actually, I was intending to paint a picture of the Academy, its students, and the courageous.
You mean...
Now you're getting it. I want to capture the day we liberated the Academy. And once I've finished it, I fully intend to return to Erebonia with it in hand. What better way to forever memorialize this place as my second homeland?
Man, you really are amazing. Well, if you ever need reference materials, you know who to call. I can get pictures of anything you might need and send them over. I know you're talented, but that's a lot to paint off of just your memory.
I'd appreciate that.
Well, that's a nice dream to have. But let's see what our noble boy here is gonna do.
Something on your mind, Eustace?
For the first time in a long time, no. I'm just taking a short break. Looking over an endless sea of documents can be rather tiring on the eyes.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh, are those the tax reports you mentioned?
Ordinarily, this would be my father's work, but His Majesty has yet to decide his fate. Rufus hasn't so much as glanced in Berea Hard's direction since he took his new job in Crossbell either. As such, the task falls to me.
Man, I knew everyone in our class had it pretty rough right now. You've got it roughest, no contest.
If my ego had its way, I would boast that filling in for my father is a simple and mundane task. But on top of the paperwork, I'll need to manage the provincial army and oversee the province as a whole. Then there's the matter of keeping the most stubborn of the nobility in check. I don't expect the first 6 months to be pleasant.
The fact that you're already thinking 6 months ahead is pretty impressive as it is. Standing in for Duke Alperea like that must take some real confidence. I know you'll manage, though.
That much is obvious.
What is it?
It's nothing. In the days to come, more people will be relying on you than ever before. But no matter who does so or what they ask, do not lose your pride as a noble. Act independently, your head held high. Maintain your pride and your autonomy, and I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks. I promise I will.
I'll hold you to that.
Well, that's fine and dandy, I guess. But now it's time for me to go to the third floor and talk to the girls. As you can imagine, I'm probably going to leave the better one for last, so I'm just gonna do everyone else first. Fee, yes, I'll start with you.
Are those seeds you've got there?
Yep, Adel gave them to me. They all came from the plants we grew in the gardening club. I'm just looking at what kinds there are here.
Really? That's really nice of her. It's kind of like you can take everything you've achieved over the past year with you.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to join a club until Adel found me relaxing and invited me. But I guess it wasn't so bad.
Don't you worry. I'll be sure to check on the gardening club every once in a while just to see how things are going. It would be a shame if all the plants you've spent so long looking after were to wither and die.
It doesn't matter. Even if they do, they'll eventually bloom again somewhere else. Kind of like us.
When you put it that way, I suppose you're right. What's wrong?
Nothing. This one and this one should be okay too.
What are these for?
They're the easiest ones to look after. You can try raising them if you want. Don't worry if they wilt or anything, though. When I've found the others from Zephyr, I'll come back and check if they're still blooming. If they are, you get a pat on the head.
Hey, I thought the head rubbing was my job.
A job that you really need to drop, my friend, especially with random girls all the time.
But I'll give it my best shot.
Yeah, head rubbing job aside, let's move to the next girl.
Feeling sad about leaving the lacrosse club behind?
Yeah, I was really into it by the end. I think it'll make for some wonderful memories to look back fondly on in the years to come.
I can imagine. Does that mean you're not going to keep up with lacrosse and Ruhr?
I don't think I'll be able to. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any local teams I could join. And even if there were, I doubt I'd have the time for sports. Just thinking about how busy I'll be makes my head spin. No, scratch that. Being busy is all the more reason I need to make time for exercise.
Yeah, good luck with that. Helping out with the Rhineford group sounds like a recipe for one all-nighter after another.
Not just yet, actually. I won't be helping until Grandfather shows me the ropes. As I am now, I doubt I'll be able to do much at all in the way of rebuilding the company. But you can bet I'll leave Mother speechless with how much progress I've made in a year's time.
I'm sure you can if you put your mind to it. And I know Sharon will always be willing to help you out if you need her.
She probably would, but then she'd just tell everything she did to Mother.
Elisa?
Oh, don't worry about it. I was just thinking about how blessed I am. I've got a wonderful family, a great club I'm part of, all of you as my classmates.
Oh, right. It took me a long time to realize the same thing too. We really are one and the same.
Yeah.
Elisa?
It's nothing, honestly. I'm just feeling a bit emotional all of a sudden. I don't know what's gotten into me. Nothing's wrong, though. I promise.
But...
Still, let's both make the most of our free day tomorrow. It's the last one we'll ever have as a class. The last thing any of us want to do is end it with regrets.
Yeah, agreed. Let's make it a day to remember for both of us.
I'm a little conflicted about the fact that I didn't unlock the romance scene with Elisa right here, but I did decide to go for the Emma route, so choices, I guess. Anyway, let's see what Laura's gonna be up to.
What are you looking at, Laura?
It's you, Reen. I'll show you.
Oh, you and Monica got a picture taken together? You both look so happy in it, too.
That we do. Someone in the photography club kindly offered to take it for us. I thought it would make a fine souvenir of my time at the academy to take away with me.
My mirror's on that being Rex. Oh well, it's a nice photo, and he got permission. For once. I never expected you and Monica would get so close. Between her and Fee, you kind of have a knack for becoming the best of friends with the ones you bump heads with first.
Please don't say that.
It's true, though.
I'm truly grateful to both of them for broadening my horizons. Meeting them enriched my life in ways I could have never pictured before. Truly, coming to this academy was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I didn't realize we'd made such a big impact on you.
Well, you did. And don't mind me, I'm just feeling a little emotional. This isn't like me at all now, is it? There's no harm in a few tears, I suppose. This will be my last time I can relax before my training, after all.
Oh, trust me, you're not gonna be done with tears by the end of this Let's Play.
Yeah, you're not gonna get much rest in with the training you've got lined up.
I won't be learning the Xseed School's advanced techniques with training any less intense. I have no idea where we'll be conducting said training, but it will no doubt be as perilous as it will be dangerous.
I had to spend a month in the Isengard range as part of mine. I don't think a month's going to cut it with what you're doing, though. It goes way beyond your average techniques.
Indeed. I'm anticipating that it will take at least half a year, if not more. Father's going to be with me. But with things as difficult as they are, part of me feels guilty for taking up his time.
I don't know about that. I think him agreeing to train with you shows how much faith he has in your potential. Besides, in a lot of ways, this might be the best time to do it.
That is very true.
What's wrong?
Nothing at all. Regardless, I'd love to come and visit you should the opportunity present itself. And if it does, I'd like to formally request a duel with you to test how much the two of us have grown.
Let's not kid ourselves. We both know who's going to win that duel. But your invitation is all the motivation I need to get plenty of training in myself. Can't have you beating me too badly.
I hope you will.
Yeah, a duel between the two of you, especially with you, Laura, with how strong you are, it's probably going to leave me in tears. Need I remind, plus 50% equals 4,000 strength. Yeah, not even close. And finally, the best for last, at least for me.
Emma? What are you doing?
Oh, hi there, Reen. Well, Dorothy and I decided that we're gonna put together one final collection of stories as a club. Since then, I've been working on a story for the students who will join the club next year.
Oh, that sounds neat. Wait, if Dorothy's involved...
The content is totally appropriate for children of all ages, I assure you. Admittedly, Dorothy's own story sounds like it'll have a few of her favorite literary elements, but all in moderation, she assured.
I have to give props to Emma's voice actress, Rena Strober. She pulled this line very well, to be honest.
Not that I'm one to judge. So what kind of story is it?
It's supposed to be a fairy tale. I can't pretend it's 100% original, though. I borrowed some elements from a story I heard as a child. It's going to star a golden unicorn and a pure-hearted maiden, or at least that's the plan.
I'd read something like that. I do like fantasy novels.
Sounds interesting. Can I give it a read when you're done? I'll still be here next year, so if I see any first years who seem like they'd enjoy it, I'll recommend it to them.
I have to confess, I'm a little embarrassed to let anyone see it, but the whole point of a story is to be read.
Here we go.
I was talking it over with Celine, and she seems to agree that there's no real need to worry about Vita's safety. Even for a witch, she was always incredibly powerful, more than capable of looking after herself. So, if I were to stay here an extra year, then start searching for her after that...
Emma, we talked about this, right? As much as I'd like you to stick around, I think it's better to take care of the opportunities that won't wait. You only get one life to live. You have to make the most of it, instead of feeling obliged to hold back for someone else's sake. That's as true for me and all our other classmates as it is for you.
I suppose you're right. It's clear that something's still happening beneath the surface here in Erebonia. Something not even Vita had foreseen. And I'd bet anything it involves the Divine Knights and the mysteries surrounding them. I want to discover the truth behind those mysteries, and I want to see Vita again. That's how I feel deep down. And that's what I think should be my purpose going forward. But that's not the most important reason I need to head out on that journey. The most important thing to me in the world is still you, Reen. And I want to uncover the truth of the Divine Knights for your sake, just as much as for myself. After all, the legends surrounding them have been at the heart of so much of the trouble we've had to endure. That's why I'll get to the bottom of this and come back with the answers you deserve. Until then, stay safe and be well.
Thanks. I will. And the same goes for you. I'll be looking forward to the next time I see your smile.
Likewise.
The scene would have been so much better if they actually kissed, but... what can I say? Okay, now we're done talking with everyone, so we can go back to Reen's room and end the day. I'm just gonna drop a little save, because I know there's a little scene after this. But, yeah, after that scene is done, I'm gonna cut the recording. I wonder if I'm just gonna go in. Guess I'll turn the radio on.
In finance, the annexation of Crossbell has seen shares in Erebonian companies increase at an exponential rate across the board.
Ugh.
And despite the Reinford Group announcing sweeping changes to its board members, its strong forecast for the next fiscal year is...
I hate this kind of news.
It's time for the start of a brand new program here on Radio Trista, coming at you promptly every Sunday. I call it Abend Time, after the word for evening. Might be a little cliched, but sometimes simple is best, right? Clichés are clichés for a reason, after all. Anyway, my name is Misty, and I'll be your host.
Wonder where Vita is now. Get the feeling she actually enjoyed doing Abend Time, but it's not like she could have kept going after all this. I wonder who that could be. Hello?
This is you, isn't it, Reen?
Oh, it's Elise. Elise?
Yes, it's me. Sorry for calling you like this so late in the evening. I'm not bothering you, am I?
Oh, not at all. I'm just not used to you calling me. Are you calling from school?
Yes, I wasn't going to, but Her Highness insisted. It'll take some getting used to, but it's nice to be able to hear your voice even when you're so far away.
I was pretty surprised when I heard your voice too. You weren't really one for phone calls back at home either.
I didn't have any specific reason for calling. It was just that the letter you sent about your return from Crossbell arrived today.
Oh, that was fast. I only sent it a couple of days ago. I'm sorry it even had to be a letter. I really was planning to go pay you a visit, but it didn't work out.
Oh, please don't apologize. I know how busy you must be now. Believe me, I was just happy to hear you were back safe and sound. And by the sound of things, you did an excellent job, too. I'm so proud of you, Reen.
Thanks. I didn't do all that much, though, really. Half of what the Imperial Chronicle is reporting is massively overblown.
If you say so.
Is something wrong?
No, not at all. Regardless, now that I've heard your voice, I feel a lot better. So I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your night now.
Right. Night, Elise. I'll come and see you as soon as I can, okay?
Oh, there's no need for that. Good night, Reen. Sweet dreams.
She seems somehow odd. Well, she's probably just nervous talking on the phone. It was always kind of awkward for me when I started using one too. Tomorrow's going to be my final free day of the year. Guess I should do all my prep work for the next week today, so I can make the most of it. And with that, I'm just gonna bid you farewell. This has been Bahama Raven, and I will see you for the next episode. Bye-bye.